This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by my good friend Michael, the Problem McKinson. Michael, it's been a while. It's a pleasure to be talking to you today. How are we doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very, very well. All the better for being joined by yourself. We'll start off by talking about yourself. Obviously, last time we saw you in the ring was about back in December. What is the
Yeah.
latest update you have for us about your next move?
Me, back in December, I was promised things that didn't materialize. I was promised things coming into the new year that didn't happen and didn't get the call. And I went through a frustrated kind of 4 months, the first part of the year. And yeah, it's just difficult time. But I think we may have a date around the corner. There's not much else I know except start getting ready for late July, and now that's all I know. So we're in camp. I don't know where, don't know who, don't know what type of fight, but I've been promised I'll have a date around the corner. So that's a little bit of good news, but it's still in a haze of frustration. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm the UK's best welterweight. I've probably got the most colourful CV as a welterweight. Um, I've boxed at a higher level than every other welterweight domestically. Um, and I kind of get forgotten about. Like the other welterweights avoid me, their coaches avoid me, their managers avoid me. But I feel like the promoters are avoiding me too because my name's never mentioned, and it should be because they all know the boxers, managers, promoters, they all know I'm the best welterweight in the UK. It's just they choose to forget about me. But yeah, we could have news coming soon, and that's all I know at the moment.
Are you under any like promotional deal right now, or are you just a free agent just waiting for the opportunities?
Yeah, I'm not signed to anybody, but three of my last four have been on Sky Sports boxer cards, which they've been good to me and keep giving me opportunities, which is good. So yeah, I guess my next one likely to be maybe on one of their cards or in the future, who knows? But currently, I am not tied to anybody.
How frustrating is it just sitting around and waiting for a date?
Very, because last year I boxed 3 times. The year before I boxed 3 times. The year before I boxed twice, and then the year before that was COVID. So since COVID, I've been very active. I've been very busy in proper fights. I turned 30 in April. So these are the important years to me. These are the years I won't be able to get back. So I want to be active. I want to be in big fights. So I've only lost to Ortiz, and I've been screaming and screaming and screaming for big fights. So yeah, like sooner or later I will get some big fights again. If I keep using my mouth, keep making noise, then hopefully I'll get something.
Well, as we talk about big fights and big opportunities, just over 2 weeks ago now, we saw your brother Lucas headline at York Hall,
Yeah,
Kaisee Benjamin. How happy were you for Lucas that night?
over the moon for him. We've He was a few months behind me, so he turned pro back in the beginning of 2015. So he's been a pro a long time, and he's had heartache after heartache. He was supposed to fight in title fights before, and I remember he was supposed to fight Archie Sharp at super featherweight a few years ago, and Archie pulled out, and then he was supposed to fight uh, for the southern area on two separate occasions, and there's been injuries and stuff. So he's had heartache after heartache, and then the other year he managed to win the English down at super lightweight. Um, but he was far too big at the weight, and like it was a fraction of how he can perform at welter. And I've said it for ages. And he moved up to welterweight and took on his toughest test. I think he was 4-1 underdog. I got odds on for that. So yeah, he proved people wrong. He boxed well, but that's still a little bit of what we all see in the gym. Like Lucas is different class. Uh, so hopefully now that he's up at a healthy weight, he can start performing like how he does in the gym, what we see day in, day out. And I believe he can go very far. And he's not just like a good welterweight in the division, he's a massive threat. He's beat Kaisee Benjamin, who's only lost to Sean McComb and Dalton Smith. And other than the last round, he beat him clearer than the other guys, really. In the last round, Kaisee came out like he was trailing. He was so far behind, and he came out like a true champion would, and like a warrior. And he went for broke, caught Lucas. I think it was more exhaustion than being hurt, and Lucas went down. The whole room went in slow motion for me. I was like, "Oh no, what's happening?" And Lucas got up and finished the fight on top. To be honest, he got to his feet and he finished. He went straight over to Kaisee and pushed him back and finished the fight on top. So Lucas said he's willing to do anything to get the win, and he really did. He went to places and like he passed with flying colours. So I was a very proud big brother. I was a very proud big brother. I'm actually with him today. Um, it's his daughter's 6th birthday tomorrow, so we're over at like a holiday park not far from Portsmouth, and yeah, so I'm actually with him today. I've said, oh, I'm just going out. Just going out to chat to somebody about boxing, and so I've left him in there. But yeah, oh, big happy birthday to his daughter. Big happy birthday to
Very
Freya
big
for
happy
tomorrow.
birthday to her. Very, very big happy birthday. What were the nerves like in that 10th round when it all started to go a little bit south?
Do you know what? I get more nervous for my little brother than I do for myself. I don't know if he's the same. I know he does get nervous for me, but I hate it. I really do hate it. And all the way through the fight, I didn't feel nerves because he looked so good and relaxed and getting into a rhythm. He was boxing great. And that last round, and he got caught. When he went down, like I said, I was like, no, what's happening? But the fact when he got to his feet, his legs were solid and he looked fine. And like he did not look hurt. Like I was confident he was going to see it out and get his arm raised. But even when the final bell went, because when I was getting texts all the way through the fight, and people were saying, "Oh, the commentary are against Lucas," and I was thinking, "Am I seeing this as like a biased brother? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he's winning this clearly. He's sailing away." But the commentary didn't see it. That obviously being the B side and that, you're going to be against everything. Like I've been in them shoes many times and stuff. But yeah, the commentary didn't do Lucas any favors on the night. But so when the bell went, I was thinking, car. Hopefully the judges have seen it right, just because the commentary were against us. But no, they see it right, and I'm really happy for the boy because, like I said, he's had bad luck in his career. He was fighting at a weight he shouldn't have been fighting at for far too long, and then when he finally moved up in weight, he had outgrown that weight straight away as well. So, um, I said for a while, like you'd be stronger at welterweight. You walk around bigger than me. You look bigger than me. Like so. So yeah, I like. I'm very happy and I'm confident that he can get some big fights now.
In the build up to the fight, I saw on his social, well, not in the build up, but after the fight, he actually posted that he broke his wrist, I'm pretty sure, in the training camp. Was there
Yeah,
any like doubts that the fight might have to get called off just due to the injury?
I think Lucas in his head because he's had so much bad luck in his career. Even if it was broke, even if it was broke bad and he was suffering. So this was, I think, 8 weeks before he did his wrist. So I think at the time he got the call, maybe. But he knows he would never have got the opportunity again. So what? So he didn't. He couldn't punch for the first half of camp with his. I can't remember if it was his right or left hand, but he couldn't punch for the first half of camp. So he only really had a few weeks sparring at the end of camp and hitting the pads, and like he was on the paddles for most of it as well. Um, but he wouldn't show any. If somebody say how's your wrist, he'd say yes, even if it was hurting him, because he was never pulling out. Like he's waited so long for a decent fight, and his stubbornness would never have he would never have pulled out. And that's the mindset he's got. Um, so yeah, it wasn't the camp he would like because 8 weeks before he had his hand in like a wrist brace for a few weeks, and yeah, he did break. There was a little break to a bone in his wrist, which really affected preparations. But like he dealt with it like a champion, and like he didn't. Not a lot of people knew about it. Only a few of us actually knew about it, and like he got it done. So we like, do you know what I mean? So that's him with an injury. Wait till he comes back like 100%, Lucas. You'll see even better performances, and it'll be even better, lads. I'm that confident in it.
It shows a lot of confidence moving forward. Overnight, we had some bizarre news that no one probably expected, but Manny Pacquiao is reportedly set to
Yeah.
come back into the professional ring. What do you think of him making a comeback into professional boxing?
I don't know what he's done in boxing, 8 division world champion, and Hall of Famer, and does he really need to? And what has he got left? Only he will know that. And I hope it doesn't. I hope I hope he can still perform and he can get the job done because he's had a great career and a lot of people love Manny Pacquiao. So yeah, it will be like he manages to do it. How old is he? 45 or something?
I think he's 45 years old.
Wow, what a story! If he goes out there and wins the WBC, that's great. And I've got the WBC International Silver, so I'm ranked by the WBC. So who knows?
Who should he fight if he is to come back? I know there's a possible few talks of Mario Barrios, but is that the
Yeah,
ideal opponent you think?
I don't know. I think it's not a case of who he can fight. It's Manny Pacquiao. Do you know, the amount of A-list fighters he's boxed over the years, and it's for a world title, so it can't be anybody. It can't be anybody rubbish, can it? So, I don't think it matters. I think what matters is him going out there and winning a world title at 45 years old is unbelievable. So,
And
all rooting.
what chances do you give him of being able to achieve that?
I think he can. Uh, I think he can. Obviously, at the welterweight division's wide open now. The Crawford's moved up. Um, like I rate Manny Pacquiao still one of the best 147s out there. Like when he comes back because of what he's done in boxing and stuff like that. So I'll give him more than a chance of going out there and winning the world title.
And then my very final question, obviously we spoke about yourself at the beginning of the fight around the corner. If you were to have one ideal name to share the ring with next, who would it be and why?
I could sit here and call out all these names that I've called out in the past, the Conor Benns, the Avanesian, and like people that know me know that the bigger the name, the better for me. But what else do I do? I've called them all out. I've made noise. I've been respectful. Like, how do I get these fights? I'll tell you, it would be a good one. Blair Cobbs, him defeating Adrian Broner on the weekends is great. I've obviously had a little bit of back and forth with Blair Cobbs in the past. There's a video you can find on YouTube of him calling me out. Um, all respect there, but that we have had a little bit of history in the past, and he defeated an old problem. Adrian Broner's an old problem. Let him fight a real problem, and that would be a good good selling point. And with like the history and that'd be great. I'd love to go to the States and box up Blair Cobbs. But for me, anybody that's relevant, anybody that's a big name. Like I've been a pro 10 years. I don't want to sit about fighting 8 rounders or fighting unknown boxers. Like I've travelled to Texas to fight Virgil Ortiz in his backyard. Look what he's done since. He's had 2 fights since, and he's knocked them both out in the first round. So that shows how good I am. And it shows how much bottle I've got. So when it comes to McKinson, he's a bit scared to fight him. No chance. I'm not scared to fight anybody. I'm not scared to fight him in their backyard. Just give me the opportunities again.
Fair enough, Michael. Thank you very much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we get some big fights for yourself soon.
Brilliant. Nice one, Josh. Thank you very much.